Guys, what's up and welcome back. Now today you guys wanted to see more pendulum combos. Well, I do have pendulum combos ready, but I'm going to show you something different that you may want to see, which is an OTK for pendulums. Now, it is only viable in a magician pendulum deck, but as we all know, my Endymions is a hybrid, so it can play the combo. Now, what it is an OTK for 8,000 flat. How is the setup? In the Endymion deck, fortunately, Endymion has 2,800, which is the minimum required to do this. You can take off 8,000 in one go. The reason why you can do this is that double iris makes you do double damage, and purple poison can pump up the monster's attack. Now these only work on dark spellcasters, so it doesn't just work on anything. It has to be a dark spellcaster. So what you do is scale these two. You pendulum summon, ensure that Endymion is either in this zone or in this zone because the underclock will be required to point to it. Any zone is perfectly fine. So if your opponent is using your right side, you summon it on the left. They're using the left side, you summon it on your right. And you pendulum summon any monster. As long as they're effect monsters, you can summon your underclock. You will say underclock effect on your opponent's monster, and it will drop them to by 2,800. The most ideal situation is that you see a monster that is under 2,800. So let's just say Nightmare Unicorn. You could also get even an Apollosa with 0 attack points and catch them off guard. You'll use double iris on the Endymion. If you didn't use your pendulum call to get you into this, it will destroy itself, but most likely you will, because it's not like you're going to always open this. So now, let's put the Nightmare Unicorn somewhere we can see it. And we can even put a divider. Alright. So you drop it to 0. Double iris does double damage. You attack. Before damage calculation, pump with purple poison, making Endymion 4,000 exact. So when he does damage, it's 8,000. Now the things to keep in mind is 1, this only works on a dark spellcaster with 2,800 or more. If you want it to work with any less, your opponent will be required to have less life points. So if you want to do this late game, you can. No one really expect this. No one is going to expect underclock takeout at any point in time. So apart from that, what you can do now for the combo, I can show you a way that you can incorporate it to any pendulum deck. Now, we'll work with standards, like an average hand, pendulum call. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to use Endymion, because the reason why is that you don't always open with Endymion, just logically. You don't always. So you'll have to open double iris or any of the magicians that we're going to use, and a random card to discard for the pendulum call, which is very easily facilitated because you open with a 5-card hand. So you can raw go for the combo if your opponent does really catches on. So what I'm going to add here is harmonizing and purple poison. Now the combo is actually this, like, this is it. So we're going to scale, then we're going to pendulum summon. We're going to use harmonizing effect to summon the dragon caller. My apologies, we're actually going to need any other monster. Any monster, absolutely any. It doesn't even require your pendulum summon, you can normal summon it. So Droll, just to push the point. You're going to link summon into first Halki Fibrax. Hulk effect will special summon Tuning Magician. Then we'll go into our Synchro, which is Enlightenment Paladin. Now, because we're doing the same cheap combo, it has to be this zone or this zone. It is required for Underclock to point to it. From here, you will be able to use the Tuning Magician effect to pull itself back, because Pendulum Magicians are in scales. Then you can go for your underclock. Now, things to note here. You might be like, this is weird, this is not game, because I just established that it has to be 2,800 or more to become 4,000. Now, a lot of persons aren't aware of the magicians, what they do. You're still going to use your double iris to make it the double damage, and your underclock is going to work on your opponent. Now, this scenario is only valid if a dragon monster is on your opponent's side of the field. That's the only way it will be game. It still can be game if you open with a purple poison. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. Let's just say it's any magician pendulum scale. It would still be game. If your opponent finds a dragon monster or you give them a dragon monster, this will be attacking and it will become double the attack because I use Dragon Caller as material. By the way, just by synchro summoning this card, I get a free spell card from my grave to my hand. So you have a Pendulum Call to supplement your next turn, or discard if you need. The one thing I don't like with majority of decks we play, all of our spells are hard once per turn, so we can't get a valuable spell back. If there was Rageki in the grave or Feather Duster, we wouldn't be having this conversation, but yeah. So now the trick to it is that he goes up to 5,000 when he attacks a dragon. Now, without even reducing, he alone is putting towards 10,000. Now, the thing to importantly note here, you'd need to catch your opponent off guard with something example like a Boreal Savage. Boreal Savage is the perfect candidate here. The reason why is that it's a dragon. It's at 3,000 attack. So if you attack it as is without the underclock reducing its attack points, this is 5,000 going into 3,000, that's 4,000 damage. Fine, that's not game. When Enlightenment Paladin attacks a monster and destroys it, it doesn't have to go specifically to the graveyard. It will do damage to the monster's original attack. So that's 3,000 more. So that's 7,000. Underclock is exactly 1,000. That's game. But the point of it is that we're going to show with underclock. Because we used underclock on Boreal, it's going to drop down to 500. 5,000 to 500. That's 4,500. Double that. That's 9,000. Game. The combo is still valid in terms of other things that you can do. In terms of, if you were to be interested in playing this in Pendulum Magicians, you could always get your Dark Worm and have Generate a Transversal, put it on their side of the field. And the very last option for the deck, because it was not scale exclusive, if you had Purple Poison, will always be game. Just saying, because you're going to do damage to the monster's original attack as well. Apart from that, Dragon Caller. You can turn any monster on the field into a dragon type. So you can always select a random monster on their side of the field, turn it to dragon, and attack. So if they had any random stuff that a normal player would play, let's say even, I don't know, this. Not that you would get an opportunity to. What you could do is target Cross Sheep, it becomes a dragon. You don't have to reduce it or attack or anything. This is more than enough for a game. Like, that's 8,600 in one attack. So a little trick that you can be playing in Pendulum decks that persons may be interested in. So that's it from me, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Have a great day.